there. So we're going to try this over YouTube Live because I'm having a heart attack this morning. So we're going to do this way. You may have heard about St. Crispin's Day. It's coming up next Wednesday. It's October. This speech and this day from Henry V retells which took place on Crispin's Day in 1415. But actually, what is St. Crispin? Well, now you're going to find out right here on That Shakespeare Life. The feast day is a Catholic holy day. It commemorates the lives and martyrdom of two twin brothers named Crispin and Crispinian, who were beheaded during the reign of Diocletian on the 25th of October in either 285 or 2 living as cobblers, which are people who make shoes. Cobblers work at night, and so these brothers would make their shoes at night and sell them, and this was their means of supporting themselves financially. They were also quite charitable. They were intentionally using some of their income to support their poorer neighbors and friends who needed help, and they were reaching out to the community in that way. Now, during the day, Crispin and Crispinian were spreading the gospel. They were trying to convert people to Christianity, telling them how they could go to heaven and believe in Jesus, and they were spreading all of this information to the Gauls. They were a pagan Celtic group of people occupying roughly what is modern day France today. Now, their behavior was offensive to Riccius Verus, who was a prefect under Diocletian. Riccius is famous for persecuting Christians. There are hundreds of records in what's called martyrdom books, where they record Christians who have died for their faith. And there's hundreds of people who were persecuted at the hands of Riccius. There is some suggestion, interestingly, about Riccius that he actually converted to Christianity himself later in life, with the story saying that he would actually go on to be martyred for being a Christian later. Riccius is actually venerated as a saint in the Eastern Orthodox Church, though the Catholic Church does not support him. So you can dive into that history to find out whether or not he gets to count as a saint, but I thought that was an interesting little note. For Crispin and Crispinian, they are the patron saints of cobblers. So cobblers, glove makers, people who make lace, people who make baskets, saddles. If you're working with your hands using leather or yarn or basket material, I actually don't know what basket material should be called, but all of these people are covered as patron saints by Crispin and Crispinian. So on their feast day, there would be generally a solemn procession. So not necessarily a Mardi Gras type parade, but like a procession through the streets to honor them. And then there were also festivals. And the guilds of these particular industries, of the cobblers and the shoemakers, would play a prominent role in the celebration because, of course, they are particularly honoring these two saints since they are the patron saints of their guilds. Still today, the Church of England honors St. Crispin's Day with festivals and other forms of commemoration. Now, for Shakespeare, he's citing St. Crispin in his speech in his play Henry V and making a big deal about it happening on stage because the actual Battle of Agincourt, that of course Shakespeare is retelling in this scene, was fought on St. Crispin's Day, October 25th in 1415. St. Crispin's Day in the pop culture mindset. And I don't think the actual Henry V said the words that Shakespeare gives him in the play, but the Battle of Agincourt, the English were hugely outnumbered, and this was a very scary eve of battle for Henry V to be asked to go into this battle. Of course, Henry V would have had to said something really powerful that day to rally his men, and Shakespeare is bringing that into his telling of the story. Shakespeare's imagined version of what words it would have taken Henry V to say to encourage and motivate his men into this battle have been so successful that leaders around the world have used them to encourage and motivate their soldiers and their military personnel on the eve of major battles. During the Napoleonic Wars in the 19th century, Horatio Nelson referred to his captains as a band of brothers. And during World War II, Laurence Olivier used this speech from Shakespeare's Henry V to inspire British morale. And Winston Churchill was so impressed with Laurence Olivier's performance and the effectiveness of this speech that Winston Churchill actually asked Laurence Olivier to make the film version of Henry V, and you can still watch that version of that film version of the play today. Since then, it's appeared in television, film, and print productions all the way from Charles Dickens to Buffy the Vampire Slayer. There's all kinds of places where Henry V shows up, and there's a wide variety of film versions of this play available for you to see, and there's even television versions of this play that you can see. It's safe to say that Shakespeare's work definitely stood the test of time and helped us all have a reason to explore and remember this great moment in history. Now, if you'd like to check out some of these film versions of the famous Henry V speeches, be sure to check out the links below this video. I have placed links to Kenneth Branagh's version of the St. Crispin's Day speech, as well as the Laurence Olivier version of the St. Crispin's Day speech, both of which are two of my favorites. And I think it's a really fun way to mark St. Crispin's Day here today, just like Shakespeare would have done during his life as well. Now, if you'd like to check out some more about our Shakespeare History Club on Patreon, there's a link for that below, where we read books and explore things like hands-on activities you can do to try out a piece of Shakespeare's life for yourself at home. There's a link to that below this video. That's it this week. I'm Cassidy Cass. Thank you for being here, watching, and with me in this new format. Tell me if you like the Shakespeare Live. Definitely call it that. Tell me if you like the live version of us being here on YouTube, or if you prefer to watch them in the traditional way we've been doing up to now. And I'll see you guys next week. Thank you. Bye-bye.